Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Wake County shooting. Deputies are investigating two different scenes just miles apart after a man was sent to the hospital. What authorities are trying to piece together this morning.
And if you're headed out the door for exercise this morning, it feels so nice out there. But we do have hotter weather on the way, so get outside while it still feels comfortable.
Student performance. New data being released today will give us a look at how kids in Wake County schools are performing, what leaders and parents will be looking for in those numbers. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. Welcome to your Wednesday. We're glad you're up with us. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Lemigo. Welcome to your Wednesday. I like that. I'm going to use that. Thank you for joining us this morning. And
midweek.
Midweek there. We're almost through there. But the thing is also, we're having another copy and paste start to our day weather-wise there, Elizabeth.
Yes, we are. We take a live look here at downtown Durham. A little bit of sunshine starting to light up the horizon there right behind the DPAC. 55 is our temperature in the triangle, and our dew point's 55 too. So that feels very comfortable, just like the last several mornings have. Checking temperatures, everybody's in the 50s on this map. 54 Southern Pines, 55 in Durham, 53 and South Hill. So feeling great to the kids at the bus stop this morning. Might want just a light jacket. Temperatures by lunchtime climb into the mid 70s, and we'll see highs in the low 80s this afternoon. No raincoats or umbrellas needed today, but tomorrow we have the potential for rain. It's most likely to start after the kids get home from school, but we'll talk about how it could affect your evening commute coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, it's 6:01 happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to look at this intersection of Falls of News at Hunting Ridge Road. A crash shut it down yesterday, but in the last hour, that entire section has completely reopened, so you don't have anything to worry about coming north or south at Falls of News Road. Here's a live look at I-87 and 440. Traffic is beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown on that northern loop of the Beltline right here. This is the likely overnight construction, but I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if there's something else going on that could affect you. But right now, very little to no delays heading into the capital city. Also in I-40, delay-free. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of the delay times heading into the Bull City. But if you're getting ready to head out the door, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Breaking news right now. Wake County deputies are investigating a shooting that spans two scenes in eastern Wake County. Deputies found a man shot on Privet Road. They also found a car with a bullet hole in it just 3 miles away near Edgemont Road near Wendell. Ali Kadlubar is in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker this morning. And Ali, we're trying to figure out if anyone's been arrested.
Yes, Renee. Well, we saw officers lining this street right here surrounding this car. You can see it has a bullet hole in the back windshield. That windshield is shattered. This is one of two scenes we saw deputies investigate. This is video of both of those scenes from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. This was around 2:30 this morning. Taking you to that first scene that's on Privet Road. We saw deputies investigate there. They found a man shot there. That man had non-life-threatening injuries. We also saw deputies surrounding that car with the bullet hole on Cooper's Hawk Trail. Now, there is a note on this car that says a Wake County Sheriff's Office is telling the owner of the car to tow it at their expense. And so we are working to find out the owner of the car, as well as if anybody has been arrested. Reporting live in Wake County, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
Ali, thank you. A state trooper was shot at during an overnight traffic stop in Cumberland County. This is video from the scene on MacArthur Road near I-295 in Fayetteville before 10 p.m. The trooper was not hurt. We're trying to find out if there is a suspect in custody after the shooting. In the last half hour, a busy Raleigh intersection reopened after a crash shut it down overnight. In fact, Sky 5 was above that scene at the intersection of Falls of Neuse and Hunting Ridge Roads. Police say that one of the cars involved overturned and then hit a telephone pole and then caused it to snap. That brought down traffic signals and the street sign in the process. Police say that cause of that crash is still being investigated. Today, we'll get new information about how the state's schools are performing, as data about standardized testing results will be released in just a few hours. Let's go ahead and bring in Flynn Snyder. He's live at the Department of Public Instruction on this story in Raleigh. Flynn, this will give us an idea of how schools are adjusting to less funding from the pandemic.
And Chris, at the same time, leaders will look at this data to see how much students have improved since pandemic era learning loss. Now, last year's results revealed in some cases that districts on average are doing better than they were before the pandemic, but results vary by school. In Wake County, past results reveal reading proficiency among Wake County students rose slightly last year to 61%. Those results will also be the first since more than $1 billion in COVID relief money for tutoring and other intervention programs to boost student engagement has run out. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says education leaders have put greater focus on math instruction for rural middle schools, and these results will show how well students are doing in more subjects like reading and math.
We're looking at school-wide proficiency rates, district-wide proficiency rates. How many students actually score proficient or higher when they took the test? And that basically means they're on grade level. They're doing what the state expects them to.
So once these results are released here around 10 this morning, we'll have a breakdown county by county and on school level of the results on our website. That's WRAL.com. Flint Sider, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A new plan to change school assignments in Wake County could affect hundreds of families. The plan proposed at last night's school board meeting is meant to address growth and overcrowding. The district says only a small percentage of students would need to change schools. Students at 14 different schools would need to move if it passes.
Some families, it might not have any impact if their students aren't currently in elementary school or they don't live in that particular area. For those students that do live in that community, it could mean an opportunity to go to a new school.
You can go to WRAL.com to see a complete list of all the schools that could be affected.
Zebulon's 5-county stadium will be hosting more games and events, even after the departure of the Carolina Mudcats. Town and county leaders have signed off on a new lease with WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting. It will bring a Coastal Plains League baseball team to the stadium. Wake Tech would also play their baseball, their softball, and their men's and women's soccer games there. Both Capital Broadcasting and Wake County leaders say they are so excited about this deal.
So from Eastern North Carolina, Eastern Wake County, all the way around, it's just a win-win, and really appreciate all your diligence and everyone else that weighed in to this very important decision.
The deal also gives Capital Broadcasting the right to develop empty land around the stadium. Millions of dollars in upgrades are planned for the revenue, and the first games are expected to be played next year.
A Durham chiropractor accused of secretly recording someone in a bathroom stall is now on administrative leave from his job. A judge laid out the charges against Jeremy Rollo.
Charged with felony secret peeping by use of a camera device. You could receive up to 39 months in prison. This is a Class H felony.
Dr. Rollo?
Rollo is a doctor with Durham Chiropractic Injury Center. He did not give WRAL a comment after his court appearance yesterday. According to arrest warrants, Rollo used a cell phone to record a man in a bathroom. Police say it happened at this Best Buy on Capitol Boulevard, not at his workplace.
An emu is on the loose in Rocky Mount this morning, and Rocky Mount police say that it is getting reports of emu sightings in the North Green area, if you're familiar. Officers say they have managed to track down the bird's owner, and they are patrolling that area. Now, if you see the bird, don't approach it. Call Rocky Mount Police.
The Trump administration is responding to Governor Josh Stein's request for more federal funding for Helene recovery. A statement to WRAL reads, President Trump cares deeply about the people of North Carolina who were affected by Hurricane Helene, and Governor Stein's request is evidence that he is unfit to run a state. Stein is asking for $11.5 billion in federal aid in a supplemental disaster aid bill. He says people in Western North Carolina have done amazing work toward Helene recovery, but he said the federal government needs to do more.
And what we're asking for is not unreasonable. What we want is for the federal government to care as much about Western North Carolina as they cared about Louisiana, as they cared about Puerto Rico, as they cared about New Jersey.
Stein says the federal government covered 50 to 70% of recovery needs of those other states. In comparison, it has only covered 8% of the needs of North Carolina.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, we are following the latest on the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Take a look at this incredible video you can see here. Right now, emergency responders are working to put out flames and structures on fire after Russian missile and drone strikes occurred there overnight. Emergency services are hard at work really putting out these blazes after Russia launched the barrage of drone and missile strikes here in the western part of Ukraine. Now, we know that these, according to the State Emergency Service of Ukraine, this is something that is going to take likely all day as the conflict here in this area continues to go on.
Really no peace deal on the table there. All right, thank you, Laura. Today, the state is hosting its annual transportation summit, and as part of it, the DOT is hosting a career fair. Hiring managers will be at the Raleigh Convention Center, and among the jobs they're trying to fill, DMV driver license examiners. The goal is to help reduce wait times at the DMV, and the fair will be from 8 to 5 today, and then 8 to 3 tomorrow. A problem on our coast is getting some work done today. The National Park Service says it had to cover a 700-foot water line along Highway 12 on the Outer Banks. Anyone headed to the coast should expect delays there for traffic today and tomorrow. The work is not related to the erosion caused during Hurricane Aaron, though.
Today, we'll hear from UNC and NC State's football teams ahead of week 2 of the college football season. UNC head coach Bill Belichick will be asked how the Tar Heels will move forward after their season opener loss to TCU. UNC will be on the road this weekend, playing Charlotte on Saturday. We will also hear from NC State head coach Dave Doran today. The Wolfpack will host Virginia on Saturday after beating East Carolina in their season opener. Hear what the coaches and players have to say in our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m. Plane seat found. A man made the discovery on the Potomac River in Virginia. Why he says he had a difficult time finding anyone to take it months after the midair collision near Reagan Airport.
And federal deployment. Troops in D.C. could stay there for months. President Trump's new plans to send the National Guard to other cities as well.
And it's a refreshing start this morning. Look at this. We just dropped to 48 degrees in Roxborough. I'll show you why temperatures will now start to warm up a bit coming up.
And here are your winning Mega Millions numbers: 7, 17, 35, 40, 64. The gold Mega Ball is 23. And don't forget about tonight's Powerball drawing, the jackpot, now at $1.3 billion.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14 on a pleasantly cool morning. Kids heading out to the bus stop this morning. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s, so they may need just a light jacket, maybe a long sleeve shirt as they're heading out the door. But it's going to be a very comfortable afternoon. We'll see lots of sunshine today, low humidity, and our high temperatures are likely to climb on up into the low 80s. We take a look at our forecast again for this afternoon, looking at those 80-degree days, mostly in the low 80s for today. But as we get into the next several days, we're going to see the temperatures gradually warming up, so it's finally going to feel like summer again, especially Friday and Saturday. Highs are going to be in the 90s. We're going to add some rain into the forecast too. Most likely tomorrow. It doesn't arrive until after the kids are home, but late in the afternoon, evening on Thursday, and then we'll check out the weekend. It's not going to be a washout. A small chance for rain late Saturday and again on Sunday.
That is what's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're going to start in the Bull City, give you a live look at I-885 TW Alexander Drive. Traffic picking up in both directions, but flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes heading into the Bull City, no delays whatsoever. Coming back here to Wake County, a couple of routes that get really busy in the morning. Your Swan 401 coming in from Roseville, very little to no delays at this point. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of those delay times on I-40.
Got to tell you about the devastation in California as a fast-moving wildfire destroyed several homes there. And it's in this historic town called Chinese Camp. A lightning strike sparked a very big fire, and several homes appeared to be either damaged or destroyed in that gold mining community. Evacuation orders are in effect for parts of that area. And the fire has burned at least, at last check, 4,000 acres.
Authorities are investigating after a man found a seat from a plane on the banks of the Potomac River in Virginia, more than 7 months after 67 people were killed in a midair collision near Reagan National Airport. Andrew Guevara says he saw the seat while walking his dog over the weekend. You can even see the tray table knob on the back. In the weeks after the crash between that passenger plane and Black Hawk helicopter, authorities posted a number to call if wreckage was found. This long after the crash, though, he had a hard time finding someone to come and get it.
It seemed matching, yeah. The red American Airlines color, and then the blue, like the rest of the seat was blue. It was shocking, I guess. I would say shocking, but more so surreal, where it's just like even knowing that something like that could just wash up like so long after.
Alexandria police eventually arrived to pick it up. From there, it was given to D.C. police, and the department is now in the process of giving it to the NTSB to confirm if it belonged to American Airlines Flight 5342.
National Guard troops in D.C. could be there for a while, and this is happening as the Trump administration plans to begin sending troops to other major U.S. cities. A senior official says troops in D.C. are expected to have their military orders extended through December, and this extension has not been finalized yet. It's unclear how long it would actually last in total. In fact, the White House has not even confirmed it just yet. But President Donald Trump has confirmed that he will be deploying the National Guard to Chicago and Baltimore.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson have been very critical of the president's plans. This announcement also happened just hours after a federal judge ruled the president's use of the National Guard in L.A. this summer, it was unlawful.
It looks like the Supreme Court could be getting ready to weigh in on President Donald Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act. The president has used this law to target alleged Venezuelan gang members for deportation. Now, a federal appeals court says it is unlawful to use the Alien Enemies Act for deportations. In a split decision, the court says that the, quote, predatory incursion by the Tren de Aragua gang did not happen. And that was Trump's claim for invoking the act.
President Donald Trump has also announced that U.S. Space Command will be moving its headquarters to Huntsville, Alabama. Now, officials originally planned to move it from Colorado Springs to Alabama during the president's first administration. But a 2022 report found issues in the Air Force's decision-making process. In 2023, President Joe Biden ultimately decided to keep the headquarters in Colorado.
It is 6:18 and refreshingly cool temperatures out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a look all around town. No matter where you look, a pretty start.
And it feels so nice out there. You know, the last several mornings have definitely felt like fall. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, all feeling nice and crisp this morning. Almost everybody's in the 50s heading out the door. Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Our next weather maker starts to move in tomorrow. Ahead of this front, we tend to see a flow coming out of the south. So that will start to warm things up somewhat tomorrow. And the front moves in. But the front is likely to be fairly weak. That's kind of the new thing with this. It just looks a lot weaker. We check out Futurecast for tomorrow. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice the clouds start to fill in, and then just an isolated chance of a shower or thunderstorm around the evening commute. Possibly later in the evening around 10 to midnight, there may be a few isolated storms up to the north, but it's not going to be much of a rainmaker for us. And then after that, we take a look at Saturday. Saturday at 8 a.m., we're nice and dry, and then we have a front that comes through during the evening. And then it really just washes out. It stalls potentially in our southern counties, bringing us a chance late on Sunday. So the weekend's not at all a washout. Saturday, we could have a few isolated storms as that moves through in the afternoon, and then a small chance again down to the south. Thursday's best chance will be overnight almost, and then again Saturday and Sunday a 30% chance. But again, still looks like it's going to be mostly fine to be outside over the weekend. It has been dry lately. 10 days since we've seen any significant rain, and that was only 0.06 of an inch, and that was way back on August 23rd. So it is fairly dry out there. No worries for getting outside for Saturday. Again, that looks like most of that rain is going to come much later at night. And then on Sunday in our southeastern counties, we have the chance. Saturday is going to be on the hotter side, looking at low 90s. Sunday, potentially, depending on how fast that front moves, could end up being noticeably cooler. Watching the tropics, we're watching a wave come off the coast of Africa. 70% chance that could develop into a depression. Gabrielle is our next name, but it right now is so far away and hasn't started to develop. So we'll keep watching to see where it might be headed. Friday's at 90, 92 on Saturday. But look at that. We have more 70s in the forecast at high on Tuesday. Just looking very comfortable, Ken.
Summer trying to make a comeback.
It is, but not for long.
Not for long, Elizabeth. Thanks. Hey, let's head outside, give you a live look at I-40 in South Saunders. Traffic beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes, a link to I-40, you're coming in from Garner-Johnston County, delay-free, of course, that southern loop of the Beltline, no problems whatsoever to report whatsoever. Now, over in Durham, we're seeing this similar thing, very little to no delays heading into the Bull City, so we appreciate that very much. You get ready to head out the door, tune us in on the radio. We've got you covered, 101.5 HD3.
All right, a volcano in Hawaii. We'll explain the interesting phenomenon that sounds like it came out of a Sharknado movie.
And protecting digital wallets. You use your phone to pay for so many things, but what if it's lost or stolen? 5 on Your Side has the simple steps you should take to help protect your cash.
Oh, and just a reminder, if you see breaking news, maybe you have a story tip or you have video or pictures of severe weather where you are, please report it to us by going to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team.
The Kilauea volcano on Hawaii created a so-called volnado, and it was caught on camera. A live stream of the volcano shows a whirlwind kicking up loose ash along an active crater. This most recent eruption from Kilauea sent lava fountains up to 500 feet in the air, like lava tornadoes. This eruption has been going on since last December.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A hit video game on the big screen and new faces on SNL.
Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending.
Yeah, Chris and Renee, the hit video game franchise Call of Duty headed to the big screen. Activision and Paramount announcing plans for a live-action movie. Now, no word yet on a release date or director just yet.
They're probably going to adapt the Modern Warfare franchise. It's pretty big, but will it be good? That's the question I have.
A total date night movie.
Yeah, right. Hey, Saturday Night Live announcing 5 new cast members ahead of season 51. Some of the new faces may be even familiar to people on TikTok. Veronica Slawkowska, Cam Patterson, Ben Marshall, Jeremy Culhane, and Tommy Brennan. Many of these comedians have gained a following on social media and TV.
A bunch of fresh faces for SNL. You know, last week it was announced that several longtimers were leaving the show, including longtime cast member Heidi Gardner. She was there for 8 seasons. The new season of SNL airs on October 4th.
Thanks, Ken.
A new NFL season is just days away, and WRAL will be the place to watch it. A classic rivalry to start the season. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, as you look live at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. The Eagles are beginning their title defense after a big victory in Super Bowl 59. Kickoff for the big game is at 8:20 Thursday night. You can watch the action right here on WRAL.
Your time is 6:26. Wake County shooting. Investigators were seen at 2 different places this morning. What we know from both scenes after someone was sent to the hospital.
Student performance. New data being released today will give us a look at how kids are performing, what leaders and parents will be looking for in those numbers. Elizabeth.
And the kids at the bus stop may need a jacket this morning, but look at the big changes coming our way. We go from 50s this morning to 70s in the morning on Saturday. I'll show you when we hit the 90s in the afternoon coming up.